Hey, it's Katie.
Hi, Katie. It's Mom. You ready to pod?
I'm ready. Let's get started.
Let's get started.
Welcome to the Sunday Self.
Hello, Sunday Selfers. We're so glad you pushed play today.
Yeah, welcome back. This is episode 7. Yeah. And for those of you tuning in on YouTube, this is our first YouTube video for the Sunday Self. So a little bit about the podcast.
Yeah.
It's we're a mother-daughter. Mm-hmm. I'm Marie. This is Katie.
I'm Katie. Yeah.
And we're just kind of having conversations about different things that we think are important and kind of like just girl talk.
Yeah, girl talk, self-care, how to become your best self while recognizing you already are. Mm-hmm. And we talk about fun topics and a mix of some heavier topics or just everyday topics.
Yeah.
Like today's topic of discussion. Go ahead.
Control.
Yeah, control.
Sometimes what you can't control.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we can dive right in. And as we keep doing these YouTube videos for our podcast, you'll learn more about us. But we're kind of hoping that you just join our conversation and feel like you're sitting around the table with us. Yeah. All right,
we
so get started?
Yeah, let's get started.
Okay.
We're going to talk about something that sneaks up on all of us.
Yeah, it's panicky, frustrating, overwhelming feeling when you realize that you're not in control.
Definitely. And it could be your kids, it could be your job, it could be health, whether it be your own or someone else's. It could be someone else's decisions. It could be a variety of things. But I feel like there's so many moments in life where it reminds us that we're not in control. Right. We're not in the driver's seat. So
yeah,
that's kind of what we're going to dive into.
And it's
today.
tough. It's tough for everybody. When it happens, it sometimes hits us in 3 ways. You grip tighter.
Yeah.
Because you're frightened.
Yeah. You spiral.
You spiral for sure. Or you completely shut down. And I think one of the other things is you get angry, right?
Yeah.
There's just that feeling of like, oh God, why is this happening to me?
Totally. We're going to talk about that and how to recognize the feeling and how to not necessarily like fight our reality. How to accept things and be able to feel like we're taking back control while also realizing that like we don't control everything.
Yeah.
And that comes down to controlling the only thing we can, which is ourselves. So our first segment today is, what does out of control actually feel like?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Katie said this and she wrote this down, and I think it's really, really good because I never really thought about it that way. But your body knows before your brain does that things are feeling out of control. And we've all been there where we start to feel those physical feelings, like the tightness of your
sweaty
chest,
palms.
the sweaty palms,
Some
the
people
headaches.
You lose feelings of your hands, like a full anxiety attack, all of those feelings. You can be like, oh my God, what's happening? Your body is like, oh, we're entering an anxiety
I can
attack.
sometimes even feel like an inner spiral. Like
you feel it in your stomach.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I definitely feel it in my stomach.
Yeah, like you could throw up, and sometimes it's like nothing, or at least that you think nothing is happening, but your subconscious, meanwhile, is working at speed 100, and your body's like, oh, hey, we're in fight or flight mode. And you're like, wait a second.
Right. Yeah, because the out of control feeling can really come, I know for me personally, when it's not even like huge things. It could be like a bunch of little things that maybe have piled up. And then all of a sudden, I could be doing something that I do all the time, and I just all of a sudden start to feel like that kind of like feeling in your chest, you feeling in your belly, and I'm like, my God, what is happening?
And that becomes something you want to control.
Right,
because you're like, what's happening to my body?
Yeah.
I don't feel in control of myself.
Right.
So you're kind of then looking at everything around you.
Right.
And you're like, okay, why is this happening to me?
Hey, something that we didn't really discuss before this on air when we were talking about what we wanted to talk about was I sometimes feel that way when my space is cluttered and messy.
Yeah.
Like I get that feeling of out of control.
I think a lot of women do.
Yeah.
Like I saw something, it was like women's mental health can be tied sometimes to like how much stuff is on the counter.
Yeah.
If let's say there's a lot of unopened mail, that's going to trigger like, oh my God, what if there's like a bill in there? What if there's a surprise bill in there? Like,
right.
You just never know what it could be. And then your body's like, oh, we're not prepared for that.
Yeah.
We need to control.
It could be like that last little straw.
Yeah.
like that breaks everything.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure it's not going to like trigger that complete out of control, but it could
might
be that
if there's enough of those
it
things
could
leading
be.
up to it.
It totally could be.
Yeah.
But I definitely, it's one of those things, and I will say this.
Yeah.
That we talk about like what we can control. It's one thing that I can control. Like when things start to feel really crazy, I start to clean.
I'm mad at clean.
Yeah, because it's like something you can control. It's mindless, and you do feel like, okay, I took control of one thing.
At least that's
done.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
sometimes that's all you really need.
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah.
But no, I think that goes into like when you feel that type of panic, it turns into I need to fix something immediately. And it's also you need to assign blame, which I'm super guilty of this.
Yeah.
Like it could either be I want to assign blame to a person.
Yeah.
And sometimes I do this without even realizing it. Like with the house example, if something's messy, my first thing is I look at Charlie and I'm like, why did you leave this here? And I'm putting the blame then on him.
Yeah.
He's like, it's been there for 5 minutes. And that's not fair.
Right.
But it's not about whatever it is that's laying out. It's about that in that moment, I'm feeling like I don't have control of my life and I need to
push that blame.
Exactly. And I need something to control. So I'm going to push the blame on him and control that, which isn't right.
Yeah, no, I know.
Or it could be like a situation. Like it could be, oh my God, why is this happening to me? That's so unfair that because last week that lady cut me off at the store, I didn't get or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Yeah.
If I had that, then, this would be fine. Like you're looking for something to blame.
Yeah.
And that's not helping you control anything.
No.
It's just deflecting.
Yeah. It's a horrible feeling.
It is. When was the last time you felt that feeling? If you could name like a specific. I know you said a lot of times it's something
I think
small.
a lot of times it's small. I will say probably the last time I've had this feeling, I think it's coming from someone else.
Like they're having
Like they're putting their...
Okay, they're blaming you.
Yes.
Or,
Not really blaming.
You're in the orbit
I'm in the orbit
Yeah.
of the person who's experiencing extreme anxiety. And I unfortunately sometimes have a tough time disconnecting from that.
Yeah.
And I make it my problem.
Yeah.
And then I start to feel like things are out of control in my world because I'm
they put it on you
feeding
to
off
fix it,
that
too.
anxiety that they're putting. Yes.
Yeah,
And
you
it's-
do turn into the fix-it person.
I do.
Yeah.
And that's not a good thing because like this conversation is about, we can't control other people.
Yeah.
And if someone that's in your orbit, whether it be a loved one or a coworker or whoever in your life is feeling out of control and all of their anxiety is being put on you, that's where we have to...
A boundary.
A boundary.
Yeah.
Has to be set up. And that is tough for me.
Yeah.
So I do feel like sometimes I have these little mini out of control feelings.
Yeah.
But I know that that's where it's coming from.
Yeah.
And I do place blame, but because it's somebody I care about, I sometimes be like, oh.
I think in
that's
those
really
times you have to
bad.
remember it's your job to listen, not to solve.
Yes.
And if they're coming to you to solve, then I think it's okay to politely say,
I don't know
that's
how
not
to
my
solve
place.
this. Remember?
Or not,
saying, I don't
but
know.
It's not, but maybe you do know.
Yeah.
But it's not your place to solve
No.
every problem for other people.
Right.
You can give advice, of course, but it's not your job to then go home with whatever it was and
Right.
think about it. And then, you're texting them at 10 p.m. Oh, I just thought of this. Why don't you?
Yeah.
You can't take home their burdens.
No.
Which happens.
It does happen.
All of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you tend to react more outward with anger or more inward with like anxiety and a shut down feeling when...
I would say probably a little bit of both, but I would say my gut is probably to go anger
Okay.
with that, and I'm trying to be really
Seeing a
good with
trend
that.
here.
What's that?
I'm seeing a trend
I
here.
know, but I'm really working on that, like not to, because I think as soon as things start to feel out of control, like you, I'll be like, Charlie, why'd you leave this
Yeah.
out? No,
Yeah.
but I'll tend to like lash out for something maybe that's really tiny,
Yeah.
that wouldn't have bothered me the week before, but because things are starting to feel a little out of control, then I'm lashing out at little things that really doesn't warrant it, right?
Yeah.
So how about you? What do you tend to do? Do you lash out or do you get quiet and pensive?
Mine's definitely anxiety and shut down. Yeah, I think, but that's also because I know if I do externalize that anger, I'm going to say something like, oh my God, why didn't you pick that up? Or like, I'm going to place blame if I'm verbally getting angry about why I feel out of control. I'm not going to say anything that's actually true or what I mean. It's just going to be me continuing this campaign of it's not my fault, or if it is my fault, then like I'm going to try to get someone else to solve my problem for me or like control something. I don't even know what I need to control.
Yeah.
Like there's no benefit from it. So I do tend to just shut down and be anxious.
It'd be great if we were programmed a little bit different to be able to recognize it right away, verbalize it right away.
We're going to talk about that.
I know, we will. Because it's, unfortunately, a lot of us have that same reaction that you just talked about, and that's tough.
Yeah, it's an uncomfortable one.
It is an uncomfortable one. Do you apologize right away?
No. No. Because typically I wind up cleaning. Right. That's right. So I'm not going to apologize when I just clean the whole house.
You do something that you feel like you can control. Mm-hmm.
But I know, like he points it out to me too. He's like, it's 10 p.m. Like we don't need to be wiping down baseboards.
Right.
Like it is a little psychotic.
Yeah.
But it works for me.
Yeah, I mean, if that relieves the stress for the moment, then that's a tool in your toolbox, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I think loss of control often feels like urgency.
Yes.
Same urgency. Like, why am I cleaning at 10 p.m.? But urgency isn't always required.
No.
So I think realizing that is very important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that kind of gives us a little bit more into our second segment that we want to talk about, which is the control trap. And that's like, why do we try to control everything? Because I think it's important to understand the why before we can then dive into how to fix it.
Yeah. So we, I guess, perceive control giving us temporary relief. I mean, it's a feeling of safety. I said to you, I said one of my biggest things that I always have anxiety about is giving up control when I get on an airplane.
Perfect example.
Which I think a lot of people feel that way.
Totally.
You get onto an airplane, you don't have control over, I don't even know how to fly an airplane. I wish I did. But I feel like I could do a better job. Not that I could, but,
I wonder
it's that
if people
feeling.
that know how to fly airplanes have a little bit...
If I knew how to fly an airplane, I would never fly, like, with somebody else as a pilot. I would always fly everywhere myself. I would.
That's, like, too much control. I think I would be...
I would have an airplane parked out back. But I mean, that's a perfect example of it. Like, and I get all the feelings. Like I said, I cry. I get angry. I shut down. All these
like
feelings.
A wave.
Yeah. So,
no,
so control gives us temporary relief. It gives us the sense of power, which is a good feeling. It feels safe, right? Like when we know we have control over things, we feel a little bit safer.
I think it's also like our body bracing us. Like we said earlier, like the body will know before our brain does necessarily. So I think our body is like, okay, a familiar feeling that we feel safe in. Unfortunately, it can turn into like the panic because that's a feeling that like most of us have felt before. So it's like, all right, we're going to go there. And then our nervous system knows if we go there, we're going to spiral to do X, Y, and Z that's going to give us that temporary relief.
Yeah.
So it kind of like sets us up for a trap almost. Like you think to yourself, if I just manage this better, it's not going to hurt. Like if I can control X, Y, and Z, then I'll be more prepared for the outcome, for whatever. But like at the end of the day, you can't control outcomes. So there's no point to brace yourself in that way. And again, we confuse responsibility with control.
Right.
Like we put it on us, then it's my responsibility to make sure X, Y, Z is done before we'll give ourselves a fake deadline, like before end of day. Because then I'll be in control. Yeah, then I'll be good for tomorrow.
Well, like you had just said a little minute ago, you said, if I can manage this better, it won't hurt.
Yeah.
So I thought of like another situation, which, I haven't been in for a long time because I've been married for a long time. But I would think that comes down to like sometimes people want to be the first person to break up a relationship.
Yes.
Because you are in control of it. And sometimes even if you just perceive a fear of being hurt in a relationship, a lot of people have that. you want to be the one to take control and end the relationship
100%.
first, right?
Yeah.
And that could be with anything.
That's
I mean, I'm sure there's
self-sabotaging 101.
self-sabotage, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's people that do that even with career moves, right?
Yeah, if you start getting really high up in a position, you get nervous that you're not going to be able to control it or be successful. So you self-sabotage by either maybe you start to slack off. So you're not likely then to get that promotion. Or some people just flat out stop going to work. And then that turns into a serious then problem of holding down a job. So true.
Yeah,
about
there's a lot
thing.
a lot with that. That's a whole other
that's
thing
like
of
you're scared of winning.
You're scared of winning. Like so think about like when things are going really, really good in your life.
Yeah.
And there are people that actually just have anxiety of waiting for that next shoe to drop.
Yes, and
that's self-fulfilling.
A lot of things have happened in your life where you're like, oh, something will go wrong, or you feel like an unlucky person.
Right.
You are going to be terrified if everything starts to go well for too long.
Right.
And then you're going to be the reason that it gets derailed.
Yeah.
By just not allowing yourself to enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Right. That's almost feeling, I would think that's almost a feeling of out of control. Like, almost like things are going so well, but I'm not controlling any of this. This is all out of my power.
Because everything kind of is out of your power.
Yeah.
You have a moment of like realizing
but you have a
that.
realization, and then all of a sudden you start to panic, like, oh, something's going to go wrong.
Yeah. So
like that's that's
derail.
Yeah. I don't generally do that. Do you?
No, I don't either.
Yeah, but I know people do.
Yeah.
And that's a whole other bag of worms with control.
Totally. I feel like I'm a delusionally lucky person. So when things are going really well, I'm like, yeah obviously. Like,
that's great.
I wake up most mornings when I remember to do it, and I do. I go, I'm the luckiest girl in the world, and I just say it out loud. And then I'm like, of course great things are happening for me.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh my God, everybody should wake up
And then
like
every
that.
time something good happens in my life, I'm like, oh, see, that just reaffirms it. I am the luckiest girl in the world.
Right.
Yeah.
I love
that energy.
Oh my God, yeah. We should bottle that energy.
Yeah,
I like it.
So yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about it, but like it can come down to like even parenting, I feel like, or
parenting.
Timelines too. Yeah, I mean,
parenting.
Yeah, you think of how many times where, especially in our relationship, where maybe like you were like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
You just wanted to control me.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, "You can't control me," so I want to do everything in my power to show you, "Hey, you actually can't."
Right.
And that probably made it worse for you.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Like when you try to control other people,
we had a power
it's
struggle.
never going to work for you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And you were correct in saying I cannot control you.
Yeah.
Like I can,
but it turned into
you.
something it never even like. I was just doing things out of spite at that point, just to show like.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes trying to micromanage everything.
Yeah. Like you tried to grip onto
will
things.
definitely bite you in the end. You can't micromanage everything. Yeah. There has to come a point where you realize this and then you forget it and then you realize it and you forget it.
Yeah.
But, there are like little things that we can control, but as far as like being in control of everything,
impossible.
It is impossible.
Yeah. I think control is often just fear in a more organized outfit. I want to say that correctly because I feel like that we should all let that sit because like that ultimately is what it is. It's just fear. Yeah.
Like fear of...
It could be fear of like
not
I'll use
knowing.
the parenting example. It could be fear of like, I don't want you to make the same mistakes I did. So you're going to really grip on and try to control your child and say like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. I know how this turns out.
Yeah.
It's fear. It's not just you wanting to control them. It's
Ladies and gentlemen, the student has become the teacher. No, that's so valid.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah,
and it could
right.
also be like with like a job or something. Like if let's say you're really, really scared of losing it.
Yeah.
You are going to try to control everything down to maybe even other people's performances on your team, because you're going to be like, well, if that person messes up, it could be reflect on me, and then what if my worst fear happens? So you're going to try to control everything, and again, it's not in your control.
Yeah, I would think if you're
even your boss, like your
Yeah.
boss's like perception of you, that's also not in your control.
Right.
You can do every single thing right, but sometimes people just, they don't like you. Maybe they don't even have an opinion of you. Maybe
Right.
they don't even care that much.
They most likely
Yeah,
don't.
they probably don't.
Yeah.
So you're just, oh, hold on real quick. Oh, we're good. So yeah, I think it all stems from fear.
Yeah, that's, I've said this to you. I know I've said it to Ben, that you can't, don't think of yourself, how do I say this? I'm trying to think now. I'm going to say it the wrong way, but like, you are not who people think you are. Like, like people might see you a certain way.
Yeah.
You can't judge yourself from other people's eyes.
Yes.
Like, you are who you are,
Totally.
right? Like, and you're right. You can't control what other people think of you.
No.
You can't control, if they think of you at all. Like, that's just
you
not
can't
in
control
your,
it.
right. So, no, you're very right with that.
Totally.
That's very smart.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Next, going to bring us to our next segment
Yeah.
here. Separating what's mine from what's not. Let's dive into it.
Yeah, that's,
We have a method here.
we do have a method.
So-
Katie named it.
Yeah.
Did you name it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's the 2-column method. And column 1, you put down the things that you can control.
Yeah. Literally picture, like when you're having moments like this,
A whiteboard.
I mean, if you have a whiteboard, use the whiteboard, but picture just literally 2 columns.
It sounds like if you have a whiteboard in your house and you're constantly writing things down, you are a control freak already.
Yeah, what's on your whiteboard?
So yeah, column 1, what can I control? And I'll start it off so I can control my tone.
Yes.
Which
That's
is
a big one, because that can
huge.
Like if I say to you, I hope you're having a good day. You're going to be like, you're going to think about that. And you'll be like, why does she hate me? But if I'm like, I hope you're having a great day.
I'd be like, chill out, man.
But your tone matters.
Yeah, it
and
does.
I feel like so many people don't realize that. So yeah, control your tone.
Yes. I think that's, your tone. Your next decision. Mm-hmm. And that's where Katie said earlier, pause for a second.
Yeah.
Because your next decision matters.
Yeah.
And, and it's okay to make a mistake, but
Totally.
maybe take a pause.
Yeah.
And you won't act when you act in haste, I found, for me, when I act without really giving much thought to my next move, when things are out of control,
rash.
I've made so many bad decisions because of that, and I regret them. And so this is one for you.
Yeah.
Whether
Boundaries.
Oh,
you can
boundaries. I was going to say whether or not it escalates.
Oh, yeah, if you escalate something, or you take a pause. Both of those options, those are within your control. So depending on what the situation is, decide what applies and go from there. And then boundaries is another one too. And I think that's, you can decide like, okay, if I worked really hard to put these boundaries in place, am I going to let this situation derail them? How much effort am I going to put into this? That's something else you can control. Are you going to lose sleep over it? If there's no point to, then don't let it.
That's a hard one.
That is a hard one, I
I
know.
lose sleep over things all the time. And then my effort, like how much effort are you going to put into this? Is it worth putting effort into? If it's a big thing and it concerns people you love or concerns yourself, of course you want to put effort into it.
Yeah.
If it's something out there in the periphery, and a lot of times, we didn't even touch on this one, a lot of times we can feel so out of control because of the world around us. Like we are bombarded 24/7 with world news that's heartbreaking and tragic, and we see things slipping away that seemed normal, maybe even a few years ago, and those types of things are really far out of most of our control. There are people that do have control, and bully for them right now, but for most of us, we don't have control over those things, and so you really, I don't know how much effort you can really put into that, other than maybe put effort into what you allow yourself to consume each day.
Yeah. And also like how you choose to show up too. Like maybe you go volunteer or picking up trash. Like those are all things that you can do that are in your control, if that makes you feel better when you feel like
if you
too
feel
much
like
out of your
if there's
control.
if the world does seem a little bit out of control, just do like small acts of kindness in your own space, and that sometimes can can alleviate those sorts of out of control feelings. I think.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
No,
Column 2.
what's
God, you
out
were
of your
saying-
control? I was going to say, what's that column?
That's other people's reactions. We talked
Yeah.
about that. We can't control how other people react to us.
Timing, that's another one.
That's a big one.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot, especially in today's world, there's a lot of fake deadlines that we have. Even if like in your own world, when you think like, oh my God, so many people say, you need to get married and have children by 30.
Oh, jeez.
Like, but a lot of people do have that timeline where they set for themselves. You can't control that timing.
Yeah.
Like everyone, your own timing is your divine timing.
Yeah.
Or it could just be like even something like work related. Like, oh my God, this deadline got moved up. Like you can't control that.
Yeah, sometimes things just happen
You
you
gotta
can't
roll with
control,
it.
right? You
Yeah.
gotta roll with it, right? Timing is, and then sometimes too, like other things could be happening in your life, and then something big hits, and we can't control that either.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
You can't control
timing is out of our
things
control.
happening. Illness, whether it be your own or somebody else's, that's one of the hardest things, I think. But ultimately, that's something that's out of our control.
Yeah, definitely. That was a big one for me.
Definitely,
That was like probably the time in my life where I felt like things were most out of control, and it lasted for a long time. I was dealing with my parents' illness, and it lasted for years, and all that anxiety and all that out of control feeling.
Yeah.
I was telling you, it just settles in your body.
Yeah.
And
Our
it
body
sits
holds
there
so
for a
much
really
emotion.
long time. Yeah. And
Yeah.
it took a while to go away, even after, they eventually passed, but even after they passed, there was like a weight. I did feel the weight lifted, but it
you
did
took
take
on the responsibility.
yeah, of trying to fix them, and
Yeah.
that was not going to happen. I'm not a medical doctor, and
Even
medical doctors
if you are
couldn't.
a medical
right? The diagnosis was one that it wasn't fixable.
Yeah.
And so and you experienced it too. I know, and then you also experienced it with my feelings coming at you, because I was like so. Everywhere I looked, I was just angry, and and it was that was really tough. So and I think I learned from that on maybe being a little bit more graceful or accepting of things, and knowing to take a heartbeat, just to kind of, okay, this is, like you said, what can I control in this situation?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think something else we wrote down here was like other people's growth in the past were the other two things that go in that column. And I think that also kind of applies to, like, let's say with the illness one. If you have someone in your life who maybe has something where they have something where maybe they could control it a little bit better, or like they do have the ability to improve and they're choosing not to, ultimately that's going to be out of your control. And especially that's really hard if it's a loved one. But it's one of those things you have to then look back at column 1 and think, all right, what can I control here? And maybe you need to take a pause and then control your boundary with it.
You can, like you said, you can control your reaction to it, right?
Yeah.
You can give them grace, you can show them empathy, but at the end of the day,
You can't
grow
take it
for
on
them.
for them. Yeah,
Right.
no, you can't.
I like the one that you said about the past.
Yeah.
Can't control the past is done, and that's one of those things.
Learn from it, but that's it.
You have to learn from it and realize that whatever it was, that's it. Kind of like it made you who you are today, and
you're
be
so good at
grateful
that.
for that.
That mindset. That's something that you always say. So
you're a
I think
stronger
that's beautiful.
person for whatever that was,
Totally.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lastly, we're going to talk about how to take back control just without controlling everything. So on this one, this is going to be like your repeatable reset tool. This is where the Sunday self applies here. So the first tip that you're going to do is name it. So literally say out loud, I feel out of control right now. I feel anxious right now. I feel panicked right now. Literally say it and then separate it. What part of this is actually mine to carry?
Yeah.
It most likely isn't yours to carry.
Right.
And then choose one small action. So that could even be, okay, my small action is going to be, I'm going to take 10 minutes, go for a walk, and I'm not going to think about it. You just need a different perspective maybe, or a fresh set of eyes to look at the situation to decide how you want to move forward. But that could be your small action to begin with. Or it could be, actually, this is kind of so out of my control that I don't know where to start. I'm going to sign up for therapy or book a therapy appointment. It could be anything, but like one small action, go from there.
Yeah, I mean, no shame in reaching out when you feel like
Ask for help.
Ask for help,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, because when you said like separate it,
Yeah.
what part is actually mine? That's a huge thing. That could be a 2-column situation,
Totally, yeah.
right? Like when you can separate what part of it is your responsibility, what you can control in that part,
Yeah.
right? And then whatever is not, just kind of like.
To the wind with it.
Yeah, or in column B.
Yeah, column B.
Yeah, column
Exactly.
B, right. So examples, instead of, like you said, in the entire outcome, you do the 10 minutes,
Yeah.
get your boundaries, controlling your future.
Yeah.
You control today instead of your future, because the
Yeah.
future is always
Yeah. There's going to be
evolving.
outside things happening. Like
Yeah.
you cannot control that. And that's a good thing. That's what makes it exciting,
makes
right?
it so exciting.
If you were in control of every little thing,
Yes.
that would be so boring. Nothing fun
That's a
would happen
good way
to you.
of looking at it.
And honestly, even the bad things that happen to us, it just adds to our toolbox.
Our life story.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we don't get stronger and we don't get more resilient from nothing bad happening to us.
And you can't help other people.
Yeah.
Like if you've never had experience in anything, you're really not a very good person
No.
to help another person. Like it helps when you have a little bit of life experience behind you to be able to help a friend, a neighbor, a loved one.
Exactly.
So yeah, take those moments that happen to you that are not so great and remind yourself that maybe it's happening to you for a reason and you'll be able to help someone out of another situation.
Love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you all for watching or listening today. Basically, we just wanted to talk more about how we spend so much energy trying to control the uncontrollables, and we hope we gave you a toolkit that you can use, again, on repeat whenever you need it. So when you're thinking about the week ahead, know that there's going to be things that are going to come at you that are out of your control.
Out of your control, right. So remember, pause.
Yeah.
It's in the choice, and it's deciding how you'll show up. And even when you don't get to decide what happens and what the outcome is, you can't control everything.
No, but you can control you.
Yes, you can. All right. Well, thanks
you, everyone,
for making us part of your Sunday self, right?
The outro.
Yeah. So go out, take control of what you can,
Spin
what's
on it.
yours, right? And go out and shine bright. We hope you tune in next week. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.